The Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by Reaper Apparel Company. Reaper Apparel offers a casual line of superb fit, finish, and comfort. We design for those who refuse to die slowly and choose to live untamed. For those who aren't afraid to face the dark, for the ones that thrive in it, and for those who can appreciate life through a grim lens. That's Reaper Apparel Company. Go to the link in the description of this episode, use the promo code Mike Bono, and get 10% off. Also, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by my own personal merch store, the Stupid Should Hurt merch store. I have hats, I have t-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, water bottles, notebooks, you name it, I've got it. The description and the link for that will be in the description of this episode. Also, right now, if you use the promo code WELCOME, I will give you 5% off of your first purchase. That's the Stupid Should Hurt merch store. Also, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by Tactical Brotherhood, all American-made apparel, which helps support the Second Amendment. You can also find all this in the description of this episode with the link, Tactical Brotherhood. Part of every proceed does go to helping veterans, as it is a very good cause. All American-made products made right here in Minnesota. Go and check them out. Use the promo code PATRIOT15 to get 15% off your purchase. Now, let's start the show.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Ride Home Rants podcast. This is your special guest host, Fitty, and today we bring you an outstanding roundtable for the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul preview for their big fight upcoming tonight as this show airs on Friday morning, Friday night on Netflix. We're getting ready to rock and roll with Iron Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. First and foremost, I want to get a sponsorship read in for our three sponsors, our three great new sponsors that we read on here. But please make sure you are checking out all of the sponsors in the pre-roll and the post-roll. All these sponsors are small business owners. We love these sponsors. They love us, and that's why we continue with them. The first one is Buddy's Beard Care. Buddy's Beard Care provides premium men's grooming products at an affordable price. Products are made in Ohio, and Buddy's Beard Care supports local. The majority of their supplies are from other Ohio-based companies. You can find them on social media at Buddy's Beard Care or online at www.buddysbeardcare.com. The second one is Sweet Hand Sports, brought to you by Roundtable contributor, a special guest tonight, individual guest as well, Matt Lando Landowski. Elevate your game with Sweet Hand Sports. Our sports gloves are designed for champions, providing the ultimate grip and durability. Achieve greatness with every match. Choose Sweet Hand Sports for the winning grip. Grip your victory at sweethandsports.com. You can also find Matt Lando Landowski on all social media. I know he is definitely doing great things with the batting gloves and the golf gloves. Unfortunately, I am not a golfer, and I also pretty much don't ever play baseball. So unfortunately, I'm not a connoisseur of these gloves. I am sorry, Lando, but I know everybody loves them. I know Neil Walker, the Pittsburgh Kid, even has them. And finally, our last sponsor I want to read off is Deemed Fit. Deemed Fit is first responder owned and operated clothing company who helps support mental and physical health of our first responders, especially the ones that work during COVID. The promo code Mike Bono saves you 20% off at deemedfit.com. With all that being said, now we can finally get to the good stuff, everybody. And talk about this fight with Jake Paul and the legend, Iron Mike Tyson. I have four great guests with Tony, Rusty, Mr. and Matt coming back for another roundtable. So we're going to go around, let them introduce themselves. They're going to tell you what their fighting name would be, such as Ray, Boom Boom Mancini, Kelly, the Ghost Pavlik, Iron Mike Tyson, and so forth and such. Even a really cool one was Hector Macho Camacho. So they're going to answer that, and then they're going to tell everybody, is movie theater popcorn better with butter or with just salt? So let's start with you, Tony. What would your fighting name be? And then is movie theater popcorn better with just butter or with just salt?
Hello, friends. My name's Tony Bogan. My fighter nickname would be Tony the Man from the Land Bogan. And movie theater popcorn is a lot better with butter. I don't care what anyone says.
Okay, Rusty, let's go to you next.
Hey, my name's Rusty Bliss. My fighting name would be the Slippery White Boy because I sweat like a pig in this bald head. Your gloves are going to slip off of it. Movie theater popcorn, butter, and a towel, and you're golden. There's nothing better.
Okay, Rusty, love the aesthetics in the back with all the old boxing stuff for your dad.
This is my dad, Golden Gloves champ, baby.
No, that's
Definitely
awesome.
love
We got a
the
little Stipe
aesthetics.
action there, so gotta have it.
Yeah, love the aesthetics. Is that a Bill Goldberg picture there too?
Yeah, we got a little Bill on here too. That was OG Bill Goldberg, but we got Stipe, Bill Walton. He was high as hell when he took that picture with me at the Q. And then Chris Berman, and then this is my dad when he won the Golden Gloves here in 1956.
That's awesome. Let's go to Mr. next.
My name is Mr. Ass Q, aka the Vampire Coach. You guys know that. And my name for boxer would be Mr. Two-Time Showtime. That would be me. And then give me the butter, man. The butter with the popcorn at the movies.
Okay. Lando, let's go to you.
Hi, everyone. This is Matt Landowski. If I'm going to step into the rink, I'm going to go with the Polish assassin, Matt
Love it.
Landowski. And I'm going to go with butter. You can't get too much butter on the popcorn. So,
okay. Well, thank you guys. So everybody knows me, special guest host Fitty. I guess if I had to pick a ring name, I can't pick something like the Italian Stallion because Rocky unfortunately stole that from me before I was even born. So I'm going to go with the Juice because every day I wake up and I just bring the juice and I bring the electric. So I'm going to steal the Juice nickname. And then I'm going to say movie theater popcorn is really good, I think, without butter. But if you are a salt fan, then you have to just go with the salt with it. So I'm gonna break the mold here and just go with salt with just a movie theater popcorn with no butter. So, all right, but we're not gonna here talk about movies. This ain't the movie show, but we do have a movie roundtable for people that do want to tune in and listen to that. It was a good time. So tonight, this Friday, November 15th, we have the fight between the legend Mike Tyson coming out of retirement over 19 years being retired and Jake Paul, who has become a boxing sensation, quote unquote, after being a YouTube star. The fight will take place at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, which is the home of the Cowboys. Both fighters are coming in weighing 225 pounds. It is 8 rounds at 2 minutes each. A typical boxing match is 3 minutes a round, usually 10 to 12 rounds. This is 8 rounds at 2 minutes each. It is a sanctioned fight, and it is with 14-ounce gloves. Usually you are wearing 8 or 10-ounce gloves when you fight, especially with like more of the guys that are not in the 58-year-old range or YouTube sensations. The tape on this, though, Jake Paul's coming in standing at 6'1", 225 pounds with a 10-1 record with 7 KOs. Iron Mike is coming in at 5'10", 224 pounds with a record of 58-4 with 44 knockouts. So that is a little bit of the tell of the tape on this. So we're going to go through these topics, kind of talk about this with all of our guests, see what they think. We're going to go Tony, Rusty, Mr., and Matt, and then I'll answer either before or after. So the first one we're going to talk about is the location of this fight is in a football stadium at AT&T Stadium where the Cowboys play. So it's in Dallas. Well, in theory, the Dallas area. Texas really isn't known for a hot spot of boxing, kind of like Atlantic City was in its heyday, or Las Vegas or New York. So, Tony, we're going to start with you on this. What do you think about them fighting in a football stadium? If you had to pick, would you pick this football stadium, or what arena would you have this in, or field? What do you think about this?
First of all, I just got to say it's sad that only the visitors have gotten to see a winner in Jerry Walt this year.
Kind of funny, it's not sad. Funny.
But I will say that I would have rather seen it in an arena. Not that I'm biased or anything. Maybe I don't know if it would have been sanctioned in the state of Ohio, but maybe Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
That's fair.
But still have Ohio. But it's like I think maybe honestly, I don't know. It sounds like it'd be better suited for Miami, probably Miami. That's the best I could say because Texas and Ohio are doing high school football playoffs. So I'd probably have to say, if the Heat weren't playing, I'd probably say Marlins Stadium, but you can make the same joke I made at Jerry World. Where only the visitors will come out victorious.
Right.
No, I gotcha. Rusty, what do you think about them playing at AT&T Stadium? Do you like it there? Would you rather see it somewhere else?
If it was traditional boxing, you'd want it somewhere smaller, somewhere a little more intimate. We know this isn't regular boxing like it used to be. This is a show. It's the Tyson thing. It seems kind of like it's getting more towards the serious side, and he's kind of getting pissed off and wants to ring some bells. Jake Paul's he's still just a YouTube star, just like his brother, who's basically been kicked out of WWE already. But it's Texas, it's Dallas, it's Cowboy, it's whatever the hell the stadium's called now. If they're going to do it as a show, they've done 2 WrestleManias in there with the WWE and they filled it. So depends on what they put in there as a show leading up to the main thing. Whatever Netflix wants to pump into this thing. So, and then again, Texas probably was the only place that was goofy enough to sanction this fight. So, I think it'll be cool. For not being there in person, it's not going to really matter because we're going to see everything up close anyway on the tube. But since it's not traditional, really going back to boxing like it used to be, I think because it's a show, give it Texas. Jerry Jones had his hand in it too. So, I'm pretty much indifferent with it. Let's just finally get it done with. There is a rumor that they may try to call it off last minute if one of these two can't pass a physical too. So who knows?
That's going to be really terrible for recording the show 2 days ahead of time. But
I know, right?
on Friday morning. So, Mister, what do you think about them playing? At the Cowboys Stadium. Where would you have wanted to see this at if you could pick?
Man, you might as well just go to Vegas, man, because everything goes in Vegas. You can't go wrong. I'd rather just see it in Vegas. I mean, it's a boxing match. Mike Tyson's gonna draw what crowd he's gonna draw. But it's boxing, and we know everything goes in Vegas. Having it in a football stadium or in Texas. Let the football be the football. Send the stadium be what the stadium is for. But I'd rather just see it in something like a traditional boxing type setting.
Okay. What about you, Lando? What do you think of them doing this at the football stadium, or would you rather have seen it elsewhere?
This is the biggest event of the year. I don't think there's a problem with that, but I'm going to go with Mister on this one, man. Like Vegas will be a good place for it, man. So,
yeah, I was thinking about this, and for people that don't know, I am a huge boxing fan. With what boxing has become, as Rusty hinted to it, is it's a show now. It's not like the traditional Rocky Marciano's, Smoking Joe Frazier, type of era. But I still would like to see it in an intimate area or arena or whatever it may be. The places we named aren't bad. Now, I don't know. They're not going to fill the whole stadium. It's only going to be a capacity of 60,000 people. That's a lot of people, though, who can be far away from watching a boxing match. I think when you look at places that have historically had them, like Las Vegas, what Mr. hinted to, Atlantic City for quite a while was very big in the boxing, especially not making this like political, but when Donald Trump owned his casinos, fights were there big all the time.
Oh yeah,
that was a big hub. Like it was like the East Coast of Las Vegas with the casinos and the fighting. I know former guest of the show, former champion of the world, Kelly Pavlik fought there a lot. And then you have New York. right, with Madison Square Gardens. So I think if you wanted to make this like a nostalgia Mike Tyson thing, you could have had it in Vegas. You probably could have had it in Atlantic City. It would have pumped so much money back into Atlantic City. But you could have had this at Madison Square Gardens, or Mike Tyson's from Brooklyn. You could have had it at the Barclays Center as well, because they've had boxing matches there. And if you're really feeling froggy, maybe, and it would have drew a lot of people, to Tony's point, I mean, you could have had it at, Rocket Mortgage or Quicken Loans or whatever the Cavs place is called now.
They both called Cleveland home at one time. So
that is true. That is true.
Tyson lived here during the heyday, and he lived in Youngstown with Don King.
Yeah.
Tyson lived like in the
Jake
Southington
Paul and his brother
area.
from Westlake.
Yeah, Tyson lived in the Southington area. So I think there could have been a lot of ways to go with this. I personally would love to have seen it at Madison Square Gardens, but that's just me.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah,
we're gonna go back down. Tony, Rusty, Mister, and Matt. Just who are you picking? Right, or let me rephrase this. Who is the favorite coming in? Is it either Mike Tyson or Jake Paul? Just the name, no explanation on this one. So, Tony, who's the favorite in this fight right now?
As I hate to say this, it's probably going to be Jake Paul, just simply because of his Gen Z type audience, even though he is a scab, in my personal opinion. I'm sorry. I just don't care for him. But Jake Paul.
Okay. What about you, Rusty?
Iron Mike. It's the show. The BS is over with. The little brother's luster wore off in wrestling. This kid's luster is going to wear off now. Iron Mike, one and done, and we shut the kid up. If it's legit, you're going to see the hand signals and all that crap. And I don't think, Iron Mike's a good actor. And, I don't know. But if it's a legit fight, it's Tyson, and it's Tyson early.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Mister? Who's the favorite going into this fight?
Iron Mike. Come on.
Okay. What about you, Lando?
Iron Mike. I think it's going to be done in the first round. So
there you go.
That's why I didn't want to get into it too much, because it leads me to the next one. But I'm gonna say my pick on this. Going into it, I'm gonna go Mike Tyson, and I will explain why when I answer the next question. But Mike Tyson is the favorite going into this. So for the next one, so this fight is 8 rounds, as we talked about, 2-minute rounds with 14-ounce gloves. So who wins? How do they win? And in what round do they win? And I'll start this so you guys have a chance to think about it. I'm going to say Iron Mike Tyson, round 7, KO. That's what I'm going to call KO, because the last thing on a fighter, your legs may go, your reaction time may go, but your punch is the last thing to go. And his punch will always still be devastating because of the strength behind it. One good punch on Jake Paul, and it'll be lights out. I think he'll play defense for a while, but Tyson, KO, round 7. Tony, what do you got?
I can see Mike Tyson winning. I have Mike Tyson winning 5th round KO. Jake is going to try to come out swinging, but the old rope-a-dope strategy. He's going to try to wear Jake out, and then when Jake's all tired, Mike Tyson delivers that KO.
Okay. Rusty, what about you?
Since they're 2-minute rounds and they shortened it, 5th or 6th rounds legit. I mean, they'll play. They're going to have to everybody's got to get their airtime, right? So then the curtain comes down and Tyson drops him. Maybe he makes him stagger like he did Trevor Burbick wearing his black Sunday school socks when he beat him in 1986 to win the first of 3 belts when he unified the titles in 6 months, which will never be topped.
What do you got, Mister? What round, who, and how?
Iron Mike, Kid Dynamite, Mike Tyson. Round 3, maybe 4 or 5 if he wants to play. And, like Rusty was saying, get some airtime in. It all going to depend on if he feel like getting how much airtime he wants this kid to have. Because you gotta understand, there's a difference between fighting and being a professional fighter and getting hit with a professional fighter hand. I don't care how old you are. I wouldn't want to get hit by him right now.
Nope.
That's my point. The last thing on the go is in boxing is your punch. So I definitely know that. Lando, what do you got? Who's winning? What round and how?
Going Iron Mike. Round 1.
Wow.
I didn't want to say
Ding, ding, ding.
Right.
Okay.
I didn't want to say it, but I'm with you. I hear you. Yeah.
47 seconds.
1 minute and 47 seconds. Is that what you said?
Yes.
I'm playing that number tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, 147. Oh.
Okay.
147.
Okay. The next one, definitely want to see what you guys think on this, and I'll kind of start here and let you guys think. Regards to the outcome and whoever wins, hopefully Mike Tyson, but whoever wins, what's next for these two guys? Here's what I'm going to say. I think Jake Paul, regardless of winning or not, he'll still draw people to boxing. Depending on how it goes is going to dictate the direction that his career goes in boxing. But I think he'll still continue. And I think even with Mike Tyson, a win or a loss, I think his popularity is still going to skyrocket. And he'll just be involved in more stuff. And I'm sure be on late night TV doing, interviews and whatever it may be. So I think both of them, regardless what happens, popularity skyrockets and they just continue doing their own thing. Tony, what do you think happens regardless of the outcome? What's next?
I agree. Jake Paul, as much as I'm not a fan of his, he's very popular. He is very popular. If he somehow does pull off the win, it's only going to make his star skyrocket even higher than it is. Like, he's going to possibly try to make it legitimate instead of being like just a full content creator. And even if he has a good showing and loses, it's still technically a win for him because it showed, hey, that he can hang with one of the greatest boxers of all time. If Tyson wins, I see him dropping the gloves at the end. He's pretty much proved everything he's had. He's pretty much proved it all. So I think Tyson wins and then drops the gloves and retires and is like, I've pretty much proven all I can.
What about you, Rusty? What do you think? What's next for these two guys, regardless of the outcome?
With Jake Paul, if he wins, I mean, boxing's kind of drifted out of the spotlight so much with MMA getting so big, but pure boxing, and this guy's hasn't fought anybody. I don't care about Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather's a runner, not a fighter. But if Jake wins, who knows? I mean, yeah, he'll still be popular. I don't know what it does for the sport. If Mike wins, he's done. It's off to the gummies for him, and he's back doing his thing.
Okay. What do you think, mister? What happens regardless of outcome for these guys next?
Yeah, I think, no matter what, what I'm saying, Jake, he's going to get popularity for number one, just being in the ring with Mike Tyson. I mean, that's just going to go up. With Mike, it's just going, it's just another day. He's a professional fighter. I think he's going to fight until he dies. I think that's just what he do.
Damn.
He's going to, and Mike Tyson is going to be 70 years old still fighting. If somebody want to get in the ring with Mike, he's going to be 70 years old and he'll get in that ring.
Hey, you're not wrong. The mentality is like that. My dad was like that till he died. He was 85 when he died. He still got in the ring if he can stand up. Right. That's how these guys are.
Right, that's right. I mean, he is totally wired different. I mean, he's wired like that, man. So that's all he know. That's all he knows,
right,
man. And that's all his life has. That's all his life has been apart. This dude Jake. I mean, has he fought any professional thing?
Just Mayweather, but he ran from him.
He fought. Oh my!
No. Oh. Logan Paul boxed Mayweather. Jake
the brother
Paul
did.
Jake Paul actually fought Tommy Fury, Tyson Fury's brother, and lost on a split decision. That's the only professional boxer he had. And Tommy Fury's a quarter of the man his brother Tyson Fury is.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You know what, man? I'd rather just go ice fishing. I'll watch the eye twitching.
All right, that's fair. Lando, what happens next with these? Lando, what happens next with these guys, regardless of the outcome?
Tyson's going to keep going, man. I'm going to agree with Mister on this one. You're going to see a lot more of them years to come here. And Logan, or Jake Paul, he's going to keep going too. I don't know how long his career is going to be, but he'll keep going a little bit more after this.
Okay, which leads me into this next question for you guys. You know, if Jake Paul wins, does this make him a legitimate boxer? Now I'll answer this first and let you guys kind of think about it. And I'm going to say no. You're going to beat a guy who's 58 years old, coming off an ulcer, mental health issues, all this other stuff. It's not like you beat him at 38. Maybe you have a little bit more clout there. The fight you did have against Tommy Fury, who's again an eighth of the man his brother Tyson Fury is as a fighter, and you lost to him. I don't know if this makes Jake Paul a legitimate boxer. What I would want to see Jake Paul do is go start to fight like true boxers, regardless if those guys have losing records or not, but go fight actually sanctioned pros to just go get experience with it and stop making it such a show.
Right.
Make it about being the business part of it. So I'm going to say it doesn't make him a legit boxer, but if he wins, I think he'll have the pick of whoever he wants to fight. Tony, what do you think?
Fitty, I agree with you 100%.
Okay. That's
Sorry,
fair.
I agree with you 100%, Fitty. If Jake starts to fight some legitimate boxers instead of a bunch of influencers who call themselves boxers, and he actually starts racking up some wins against legitimate boxers, then we can have this discussion again.
Okay.
Even if he beats Mike Tyson, I'm not impressed until he beats some boxers, like some actual legit boxers. But let's say if you put Prime Jake Paul beat Prime Mike Tyson, this would be
a different story. Right, absolutely. Rusty, what do you think about this?
Same thing. I agree with you guys. If he's got to legitimize it, take the show away from it, take the showbiz side away, and just go to work, do the work. But then to your point, how many legitimate boxers are left?
That's true.
A lot of guys have gone the crossover route and gone to MMA because that's where the money's going now. But yeah, if he were to embrace the sport, and it's the art of the sport, there's an art to it. It's not just brawling. So if he were to embrace it and do it the real way, and like I said, take the spotlight away from it and make it legit, then it makes him, it legitimizes him. But knowing him and his goofy brother from them growing up here in Westlake and all the crap they did here locally, it's kind of hard to take anything they do seriously. It's just like the two doofuses from Cleveland Heights. I'm not even going to mention their names, but it's the same thing. I mean, do something legit, and then, hey, do the work and make it legit, and then you're awesome. But you're again, like Tony said, you're not beating Prime Mike. Nobody's beating Prime Mike. Robin Gibbons was the only one that beat Prime Mike. And that ruined him. And but still the GOAT.
I will say at least one of those guys is dating one of the hottest pop stars in music right now.
We're not going down this tangent on this road tonight on the show. But here's what I would say to Rusty, to your point. There isn't a lot of boxers left who probably are journeymen who would want to do it. The other thing is, if Jake Paul really took this serious and fought at 225, and then we'll get to you, and Lando, we'll get to you. If he really fought at 225, you're in the heavyweight division. So you're fighting those monsters of Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. Yeah. You're fighting Anthony Joshua. You're fighting the guy from China. You're fighting Joyce. You're fighting, who are some of the other guy that just beat Tyson Fury? Yeah, you're fighting like huge behemoth men who are 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", 275, 300 pounds. And I mean, that's a hard ride. He would have to drop to probably 200 pounds and go in the cruiserweight so he doesn't, I mean, literally get killed as a heavyweight. So, but Mister, if he wins, does this make him a legit boxer?
No, he does not become a legit boxer until he decides to make this a professional career. Other than that, it's all shenanigans.
Okay. What about you, Lando? What do you think?
Nah, you gotta run. You gotta beat them all, man, to be the top dog. So yeah, you gotta prove everybody, to everybody. So
No, I agree with you guys on this. The next one is, if Mike Tyson loses, what does this mean for his legacy? And I'll answer this last. Tony, let's go to you. If Mike Tyson loses, what does this do to his legacy? Does it change it at all?
Somewhat, but he still has enough of a legacy that it won't hurt him too badly. Because at least he didn't lose to Joe the plumber or something like that. He did lose to somebody who is somewhat popular, so it would affect his legacy, put a ding in it, but it'd be like, say, if Steph Curry won 4 straight NBA finals and lost in the first round to a 38-win team. It put a ding in it, but it wouldn't define it.
Okay, that's fair. Rusty, what do you think?
No, it wouldn't define it, but I don't think it tarnishes it either, because he's way past his prime. There's not a lot being, you're not expecting to get 1986 Mike Tyson. But I don't think it damages anything. He's had so much crap thrown on him since the glory days, that I don't think it bothers him. I don't think it bothers his legacy. He goes back and he keeps selling gummies. I mean, he keeps his business going. I mean, I think it might even help. I mean, it may still draw attention. The guy can still draw attention. He didn't fight for 20 years and still was a draw anywhere he went. So
yeah, and I agree with you on that. I think I answer at the end, but I do agree with you with a lot of that. Mister, what do you think though?
No, I don't think it do anything. I don't think it tarnish or damage his career. I just think it's just another thing, that he's doing. I mean, he's already set, in history. So no matter what, I mean, we're going, and this is something to think about. This is something, listen, this is something we're going to ask the same question when he's 70 years old, okay, and fighting somebody. We're going to ask the same question. And at 7, no, it doesn't. Hey, listen, he got the greatest boxing game out ever of all time. Mike Tyson Punch Out.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I was just talking about it at work.
Yeah.
For all us old guys that grew up on a Nintendo, Mike Tyson Punch Out was the greatest video game ever created with Little Mac.
Created. Oh, Tony, you probably wouldn't know nothing about that, little buddy. You gotta look that one up.
Yeah, you gotta look at the original. The original Punch Out, though, not Mike Tyson Punch Out. The original Punch Out had Mr. Dream at the end. Then when Mike Tyson Punch Out came out, it had pretty much all the same characters. Then you had Mike Tyson at the end with Little Mac and his trainer and running and being on the bike and all that. You had your A and B button on a Nintendo. Man, that brought back some memories right there. Lando, what about you? What do you think this does to his legacy if he loses?
I don't think it hurts it at all. He's a legend, man. He's a legend. In my book, he has the fastest hands and the most explosive punch I've ever seen. So,
and here's what I'm going to say about it. I don't think it really hurts his legacy. I think regardless, he's still popular. He'll still get his couple acting gigs, like he was in Law and Order SVU for an episode. Most people don't know that, but he was. He's in The Hangover. He's done his comedy stuff and, his interviews and all that. So I think it'll probably, make him just still as popular. They're doing the Netflix special right now, the 3 episodes leading up to the Jake Paul fight, and he's still popular in Brooklyn. They showed him. They showed Shannon Briggs, former 2-time heavyweight champion, and out with him. And people just were loving Tyson all through Brooklyn. So, I don't really think it changes anything. What I just don't want to see is him get hurt in it, being almost, 60 years old. And what I also don't want to see is if he does win and knock him out, I also don't want to see all these old retired boxers out here trying to get back into the ring and somebody truly does get hurt for a cheap bit of ring theater, because that's the last thing that, you want to. So we're going to go to the next one. And I'm going to answer this first. So Tony, you have a little while to think about it. So this is kind of on the same topic, but yet not about the fight itself. What's the best boxing movie all time? And you can't say Rocky Balboa. So let's think about this. You can't say Rocky Balboa. But what is the best boxing movie of all time? Now I'll throw a couple out there that I really like. I think Cinderella Man with Russell Crowe is a fantastic movie. I also do like $1 Million Baby was pretty good. And then probably my favorite besides Rocky is Southpaw with Jake Gyllenhaal. I think that was great as well. But I'm going to leave this one out there. I'm not sure if a lot of people have seen it or not. If not, you should look it up. But if you've never seen the movie The Champ,
you stole mine. You stole mine.
Yeah, it's okay. You can say it too, Rusty. You can say it too.
Just get me. Great. That was a great movie.
If you've never seen The Champ with a young John Voight, who people don't know, that's Angelina Jolie's dad, John Voight from like 1972, Faye Dunaway, and a young Ricky Schroeder.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the best boxing movies. It's emotional. It will make you cry throughout the entire movie. It'll make a grown man cry. It's so sad, but it's like the greatest story of a father's love for his son and overcoming obstacles. So I'm going to go with The Champ, but there's some other really great boxing movies in there as well. But Champ is my pick. Tony, what is yours? And you can't say Rocky.
Okay, then I'm going to say Creed. About Rocky.
Okay, that's fair. I didn't say Rocky. I said Creed. Okay. All right. And Rusty, you're going to go with The Champ then?
The Champ. That was it. I mean, that was, growing up with my dad the way he was, it kind of was reflective a little, he didn't die and, that way, but it was awesome. I mean, it was a great movie. And I don't care how old you are. I mean, I was a kid, I was bawling. If I watched it tomorrow night, I would probably be bawling the same way I did when I was little watching it. It was awesome. I mean, all the way around. I mean, from, Ricky Schroeder, one of his first movies. And then John Voight was just awesome in it. It was really cool. It was a great movie.
Rusty, I actually have the original from like 1932.
Do you?
Yeah, not the actual like VHS or anything, but I got on DVD. But I ordered that because I love The Champ so much. That's why I got the original one. So, but a lot of great boxing movies. The Fighter with Mark Wahlberg. I mean, there's a ton, out there. But Mister, what do you got as your favorite boxing movie of all time?
I would have to go with the Raging Bull.
Raging Bull. Great one.
Man. Robert.
Jake LaMotta, The Raging Bull.
Yeah. I would have to go with Raging Bull, man.
Remember what Jake LaMotta's famous line was in that when he was fighting, who did he have the 6-match trilogy with? Floyd Patterson?
That might have, I'm not sure. That's
but he said I'm sorry. Sugar Ray Robinson. He said, "You never knocked me down, Ray. You never knocked me down in their 6 fights. You never knocked me down, Ray. You never knocked me down." Yeah, not Floyd Patterson. It was Sugar Ray Robinson.
Sugar Ray Robinson.
So Lando, what about you? What would you say your favorite boxing movie is outside of Rocky?
I'm going to go with The Fighter with Christian Bale and Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, good movie. That portrayed. He was the Irish fighter, Mickey Ward.
Yep.
The famous Mickey Ward.
Massachusetts.
What's that?
They were from Lowell, Massachusetts, correct?
Yeah. They're from up that way. Actually, not too far away from where great world heavyweight champion, Rocky Marciano was from. He was from Brockton, Massachusetts. So Lowell, Massachusetts wasn't far away. So next one. So regardless if Mike Tyson wins this or not, is he a top 5 heavyweight of all time? So I'm going to let you guys think about this. I'm going to say Mike Tyson is a top 5 heavyweight of all time. Here's my, you don't have to name your top 5 heavyweights, but I just want to know yes or no. I think top 5 heavyweights of all time, Rocky Marciano is number 1, fought at 185 pounds, went 49-0, retired. Ali is number 2. I would put the Manassas Mauler, Jack Dempsey at number 3. Number 4, I'm going to put Big George Foreman in there because the fact that he came back at 46 or 45 years old and won a world title and then fought until his late 40s. And then number 5, I would say, is Mike Tyson. So those would be my 5 heavyweight best boxers of all time. Tony, you don't have to name them, but is Mike Tyson a top 5 heavyweight of all time?
I would have to say yes. As somebody who hasn't watched a lot of boxing, yes.
Okay. Rusty, what about you?
He's top 2.
Top 2.
He's top 2 just because of the caliber of fighter he fought. I mean, I'm going to put Muhammad Ali first just because of the caliber he fought. But what Tyson did in 1986 to unify all 3 major belts, all 3 major titles within 6 months, it was, and he saved boxing, because boxing was kind of teetering there for a while. So he brought energy back to it and he unified all those belts and, take away the voiceovers and all the sound bites he had during that run. But he's top 2 for me.
Yeah, and I think you do make a good point there. He did bring back boxing, I think heavyweight boxing, because at that time, lightweight and middleweight, when you had guys like Ray Boom Boom Mancini,
Marvin Hagler,
Marvin Hagler coming in there. You had Livingston Bramble in there as well, who really put a beat down on a lot of people. You had yes. So yeah, Tommy the Hitman Hearns. You had a lot of great people in there in those lighter weights and that heavyweight, because that was like Ali retired. Foreman was gone. I think by that time for his break. Then you had like Mike Tyson and you had some other guys come after that. Shannon Briggs and Tommy Morrison and stuff, but there was a big gap there in the 80s. So you are right there, Rusty. Mister, what would you say? Is Tyson a top 5 fighter in the heavyweight division all time?
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. Most definitely all time. Like you said, top 2, if not top 1, but yeah.
Okay. What do you think, Lando?
Absolutely.
Where do you have him ranked at, Lando?
I'd say top 2 or 3, yeah.
And I think when you look at Tyson and Rusty, you could probably correct me if I'm wrong on this, and Mister too, because we're a little bit older. I think he really resembled Rocky Marciano's body frame, like that 190 pound, 200 pound fighter. If Marciano was fighting alive today and Tyson was fighting today at those weights, they would be cruiserweights. You know what I mean? They were winning titles in the 190-ish pound range and things like that. And even for as big as Ali was, he would be really small compared to the heavyweights of today. The only guy truly that would probably be in there would be the big George Foreman version of George Foreman.
Right. And heavyweight boxing got sloppy. I mean, it was just boring. It was big dudes. And it was just more brawling than it was boxing. And I think Tyson combined that. He was lightning fast, still fastest hands in a ring, but he was a bulldog too. I mean, he would take. So that's what, you talk about the Rocky movies and that character, and it was, take what you can, wear the other guy down, and then boom, you just knew that uppercut was coming, and bye-bye.
Right.
Right. Bye-bye.
So I want to get your guys' take on this. So if you had to pick if you had to pick somebody for Jake Paul to fight next, regardless of what happens, who are you going to pick? I'm going to leave my answer for last on this. But Tony, at anyone, it could be boxers, it could be celebrities, whatever. Who do you want to see Jake Paul fight next?
I want to see him fight this this Cleveland sports influencer guy by the name of Sir Yacht. These are two people I don't really care for. I just want to see them fight each other.
All right, Rusty, what about you?
I want to see him fight his brother.
Okay. What about you, mister?
Oh, my gosh. Terrell Owens.
Terrell Owens. That would be that. I would pay to watch that. Who do you got, Lando?
Wrong.
Who'd you say, Lando?
Rob Gronkowski.
Rob Gronkowski. That would be a good one. All right. I'm going to give this one out. And if he's listening to the show, he's a former guest. Please, Ghost, do it. I want to see Kelly the Ghost Pavlik come out of retirement. And I want to see him fight Jake Paul in Youngstown, Ohio at the Cavelli Center. That's what I want to see. The Ghost, 40-2. One of those losses was right at the end of his career in Atlantic City to Bernard Hopkins, the executioner. I want to see Kelly Pavlik come out of retirement and fight Jake Paul at like 215 pounds. Ghost, I know you can do it. Come out of retirement. I know you fought as a middleweight. You've retired. I know you can get to like 200, 210. I want to see Kelly the Ghost Pavlik meet Jake Paul in Youngstown, Ohio. That's what I want to see.
Cavelli Center even still there?
Cavelli Center is still there. Oh yeah,
it is still there.
Rolls. Oh yeah.
What about
even
the
better?
Fieldhouse?
They could have it. They could have it at YSU Fieldhouse.
Nah,
The Fieldhouse is too small.
Have it at Youngstown State.
You have it at Youngstown State in the Bigley Center. That's what I'd love to see.
Okay.
So we have two topics left for you guys. Tony, we're gonna see what you have to say here on this one. We'll go around. So what's more admirable, Jake Paul going from YouTube to trying to become a professional boxer, or Mike Tyson getting back in the ring at 58 years old?
Oh man, it depends on how the fight finishes.
Right now, though, going into this, what's more admirable?
Jake Paul. Jake Paul going from being a YouTuber to being a professional boxer.
Okay, what about you, Rusty?
If you're speaking admirably, just Iron Mike still carrying the torch.
Okay.
I could care less about the influencer generation. It's Iron Mike still carrying the torch. The man spans many generations, and he's still here. Okay.
What about you, mister? What do you think?
Man, I might have to agree with Rusty on that one, man. I mean, that was perfect. I mean, hey, so you look at us, you know what I'm saying? We're getting up there in age. So it just remind me, when I get to 58, 57, 60, hey, I can still carry pack a punch. So Iron Mike is my role model. I want to be like him when I grow up.
Okay. What about you, Lando? What's more admirable, Jake Paul going from YouTube to boxing, or Iron Mike going back in the ring at 58?
I love what Iron Mike's doing, man. He's like a pit bull. Like he ain't gonna stop. So
okay. You know what? I would say I do think what Jake Paul is trying to do, to an extent, is admirable, to never fight and still go in and try to fight. But going back in the ring when you literally have nothing left to prove at 58 years old with health issues and everything else, knowing that you may take a beating, I think Iron Mike is what he is doing is very admirable, just from a heart standpoint. So, very last question we're gonna ask everybody. Fights on tonight. It might be a little bit late. Are you staying up for the fight and watching it, Tony? You staying up and watching it?
Well, I have high school football, so yes. I will be covering the game, going home, doing the editing, and my sister has Netflix. So I'm going to try to convince her to watch the fight with me as I edit my video and article.
Okay. Rusty, what about you?
Yeah, I'll be around to watch it. You got to be. I got to get ready. That's going to be my primer for Saturday night's fight.
What about you, mister?
Oh, yeah. I'll be watching this somewhere. Absolutely.
Okay. What about you, Lando?
Absolutely. I'm get some chicken wings, call my buddy up, and we're gonna probably watch it here. So
all right. Well, thank you guys so much for doing this Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul preview. I hope all the guests that are listening to this really enjoy this as a prepper leading up to the fight itself. Regardless of healthy, to put on a good show, bring in the entertainment and just make it a good time. But I think we all want to see Iron Mike come back for one great fight. There's an old saying that every great champion has one great fight left in them. And hopefully that great champion of Mike Tyson has one great fight left in him. As always, if you enjoyed the show, be a friend and tell a friend. And if you didn't like the show, tell them anyways, just because you didn't. So this is Fitty signing off, a.k.a. bringing the juice for my boxing name. We'll see everybody next week.
Bring the juice.
See ya.
The Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by W Energy. Energy drinks made for gamers, streamers, and podcasters alike. For gamers, streamers, and podcasters alike. Go to the link in the description where you can find the best energy drinks out there. Less caffeine than a cup of coffee. Also, no jitters and no crash afterwards. Use the promo code Mike Bono and get yourself 10% off. Also, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by my favorite sponsor of the show, and that is Shankit Golf. Golf apparel made for the everyday golfer. We might not go out and shoot a 6 under par. We're probably going to shoot a 6 over par, but this is going to give us the gear that's going to help us rock it on and off of the course. Go to the link in the bio, use the promo code Mike Bono, and get yourself 10% off there as well.